Welcome into the Road in Between. Today we are in New Orleans, Louisiana. I'm here with Rick Murray, a good friend of mine in Mission and Ministry. We're going to be talking about bread and the power of bread for sharing with the hungry and the needy, the bread ministry, as well as sharing with the homeless, sandwiches y'all been doing for many years now, and we're going to be taking a look at that and the power of it. The columns behind me remind us that the church that's here, St. Charles Avenue Christian Church, was planted. Seems like it's cemented in, but really it's just an institution. It's a sanctuary to gather in order to go out and be scattered in mission. And that's what we're going to be focusing upon, is Rick Murray's ministry right here in New Orleans, Louisiana. We're also going to be taking a look at culture and seeing how you can blend Christ in culture. We look forward to sharing these stories with you on the Road in Between.
Thoughts keep running through my head as I walk this road with nothing ahead. The sun beams down on my face as I walk this road that leads to amazing grace.
Monday, 12 o'clock, lunchtime. Let's go serve the homeless. All right, we're leaving the church and we're taking some extra bread over into Earhart. There's going to be a home we're going to take a look at. Caught on fire not once but twice. It's Sharon's home. She's a member of the church. We're going to see how we can help her out. We're going to be following Rick Murray, one of the real heroes of mission in my life. Got to know him a year ago and he's amazing. This old beat up truck of his from Texas. Look at the Mardi Gras beads on it. Look what's in the back. Got bread. I'm going to take into the neighborhood. I'm going to share that bread with you today. You know, I look back on my life, these total strangers come into my life and they end up staying in my life. One of them's Rick Murray. Rick Murray, I met him down in New Orleans, and he was working at the church I was helping support at St. Charles Avenue Christian Church. Rick Murray came from Texas after Katrina because he wanted to help, and he has ended up staying ever since.
Since 07, May 07, 9 years.
And you live in an apartment in the church?
In the church. It's turned into an apartment after the storm.
Rick Murray came to New Orleans without a place to stay. He was homeless, and he was staying outside of a Salvation Army shelter when a pastor came by and asked him if he would like to help with the church and their mission. Jesus said, "I am the bread of life," and so throughout his ministry he would use bread to share the physical nurture and hope. And so the church has taken all this old expired bread from Rouse's and other grocery stores and said, look, it's still good. Why don't we share it? So they've gathered it all together, and Rick goes in that big old blue truck of his and he picks it up from the warehouse and he begins to share it around the neighborhood. And they do it every week. You love bread?
Yes, sir. That's what gets you full. Let me tell you something. You ain't got bread in your house, then you ain't hungry.
That's right.
That's right. And this is expensive bread.
Bread is good. I eat nothing but bread meat. I'm a bread man.
And you like hot dogs too, don't you?
And I love hot dogs.
You come out the right day, didn't you?
Yeah, he did.
Yes, sir.
The right day.
We started picking up truckloads, approximately 40 trays a week, taking turns with different trucks. Started out with mine, then we got another truck involved, you know. And we started doing sandwiches on a Wednesday night, which now turned into Sundays. But make several sandwiches and take them down to Oz and Inn for the homeless. And take several trays of homeless dinner on Thursdays. Second Baptist, they have a big homeless dinner. Approximately 90 people show up on that every Thursday. And so when it comes Thursday, that's how we distribute everything.
Because Hollywood. They've actually done some filming over here too, Lil Wayne. When he comes over and does some of his filming, some of his videos, you gotta see the crowd.
Ooh, baby.
You gotta see the crowd he brings in here.
Holly Grove, wow, what a place. It's a place that was flooded during Katrina. It's lower income people. It's a tough place to live. There's a lot of shootings and murders.
You look at these plazas right here, right? Right here where you're at?
Yep.
You'd never think that those homes are back in that area.
No, you wouldn't.
Right behind these stores.
This place
If you come from out of town and you got lost back in there, you know what I'm saying?
is dangerous.
You'd be scared.
And yet, in the midst of hopelessness, there's this great hope. There are churches on a lot of corners, and there's some really good people there. And Rick and Sharon grew up there in Holly Grove, and she has invited us to go in with Missionscape and to offer bread mission to them. So I go in with Rick, and he knows a lot of the people in Holly Grove, and they now call us the bread men. And so we go around and we share the bread, and they look for our car, and they all come out, and they get it not only for themselves, but they get enough loaves so that they can go share it with their neighbors. There are a lot of neighbors there that are homebound, that are older. There's a lady in the neighborhood that has like 11 children. Everybody wants to help her out and participate. It's a dangerous place. It's a dangerous mission. And yet, that's where Christ would go, and that's where we're going. And Rick Murray is the one who invited us in.
You want to take some bread home?
Huh?
Get you some bread.
Oh,
Take a loaf home.
Right now.
You don't want to put it in your truck?
I'll take one. Anyone?
Anyone?
Yeah.
So what do you want?
You chocolate?
Yes.
Yeah, chocolate. That's Rick over there, you know.
Hey.
And I'm Tom, and I'm Rick's pastor.
Okay, hi.
And,
How are you?
Yeah, nice to see you.
Same
Yeah,
here.
you're welcome. We do it every
nice
month.
to finally meet you. I
Yeah.
heard a lot.
Oh,
I heard
you
a lot
have?
about the church, yes.
Yeah, man.
Him and his wife, Sharon.
Oh, I
yes.
know. They're awesome.
Yeah, I done heard about you.
Oh yeah, I heard about you too. Actually.
I appreciate. I love this bird.
All right, good. We'll get you some more. We'll save some wheat for next time.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All right.
See you, chocolate.
Like you said, it's an old community. It's been there for a long time. A lot of poor people in that area, on food stamps, living on checks, disability checks. So they're very well appreciated over there. When we pull up in Holly Grove, they'll come run to the truck.
Talk about a truck. This is Rick Murray's truck, and when you look at it, it is well used. What year is this old truck?
95.
95 from Texas.
20 years old.
20 years old.
Still
This
moving.
thing is broken in. This thing's got history.
Very broken in. Look at the window. That's how broken it is.
If you opened up the hood of that truck, you wouldn't believe what all he has stored around the sides of it. Extra oil, extra towels. He has kept that truck going because it's not only for himself, but it's for the mission. He needs a different truck, but really it shows great stewardship and how he's able to take something which is old and keep it moving. It's a great truck. We call it Old Blue.
This truck is thirsty too, you know. Don't run on water like me and you.
Old Blue. It's had a lot of breakdowns. It's a tough truck, I can tell you that. It's tough. We replaced almost everything underneath that hood except for the AC unit. I mean, it's had everything done. The only thing I haven't touched is the transmission, so I guess that's the toughest thing on that truck, that transmission.
Well, you've used that truck for mission and not for yourself. You've shared it.
All around New Orleans. From uptown, downtown, to Holly Grove. It's all the way to Legion Field towards the 9th Ward.
All right, so tell us about the fire. When did this happen?
Friday night,
Okay.
approximately 5:30 Friday evening.
All right.
And the fire department left at 8:30 that night. And then it had come back Saturday morning at 7 because it restarted, reignited.
Okay.
Yeah, Sharon's brother was sleeping inside on the couch. And somebody come knock on the door at 6:50. Woke him up, said, your house is on fire. He thought they were kidding because they just put it out the night before. Wasn't no joke. It just spread further back to 2 more rooms.
Well, that house had a fire right past Christmas this past year. It burnt to the ground, no insurance, so it's been a rough going. We went there and cleaned it up, took out what was salvageable, and then the rest of it is, it's a complete redo with no insurance.
Rick Murray is married to Sharon. Sharon grew up in Holly Grove, which is the neighborhood where Lil Wayne, the rap singer, is from, and they grew up together. So Rick and Sharon have tried to rebuild that house in Holly Grove, and they're looking for help and support and seeing how Missionscape and other groups like Tulane and Loyola groups can maybe do some mission work to get their house back together.
Right, we're looking for help, looking for volunteer help, and a lot of it has to do with the supplies. You know, we feel like we can get different groups come do the, you know, volunteer work. We've had one church group come already and, you know, help clean out with the dumpster situation. Clean out, fill up a dumpster. It's really supplies what they really need because of the no insurance factor, you know.
Instead of them becoming so self-absorbed with that home, as most people would be, Rick and Sharon have focused not on themselves, but on the bread mission and continuing their efforts with outreach. You know, when I think about Rick Murray, I think about how he came to New Orleans without direction. He was homeless, and how the church came alongside of him and said, look, if you'll help us with our church, we'll let you stay in the church in an apartment there. And he's been there ever since. He continues to work really hard in the church. He has shown me humility, honesty, and out of that comes great honor. He is so thankful, he's so grateful. He is selfless, and he really has modeled to me what Jesus Christ is all about, and that is not to come to be served, but to serve.
Definitely. I mean, God's always been in my life. But like I said, the reconnection, yes. When I was upstairs in that room, I'm thinking, how did I end up here? I'm in this room, go to work every night, come home, go to sleep every morning, then help do the rebuild of the church in the afternoon. But just by being at that Salvation Army, you know, God put me here, meeting that pastor at the right time. You know, I feel like he put me here. It was meant for me to be here. I don't think it would have happened like that.
Well, thank you for sharing. Thank you, Rick.
You're very welcome.
Great.
Very welcome.
Stick around, we'll be right back.
John O'Neill Johnson Toyota has been serving customers for over 20 years with integrity, honesty, and value. We want to thank you, our customers, for helping us win so many awards. Now we're #1 in Gulf States Toyota for market share 2 years in a row. Multiple winner of Toyota's President Award and 6-time Gold Dealer recognition. And the reason is simple. Customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
John O'Neill Johnson, a name you can trust. Toyota, a product you can depend on.
6200 St. Charles Avenue. What a beautiful place this is. This church was planted here a long time ago in the early 1900s. But it's not planted here just to be inside. It's about being outside with the streetcars, with Tulane and Loyola, and also serving the homeless and those who are needy. And that's what this church does. They bring the bread ministry, and they also share meals with the homeless. This is Tom Sykes for Hush and the Rush Moment on the Road in Between.
Vision, quality, experience. Glass Incorporated's expert glaziers can handle single window panes to entire high-rise buildings. Whether you need storefront windows, skylights, mirrors, or shower enclosures, no job is too big or too small. Glass Incorporated, your commercial and residential glass experts. Locations in Meridian, Orange Beach, and the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Welcome back to the Road in Between. Here we are on neutral ground. It's very important to have this neutral ground so there's space for people to run and to walk and to decide which direction they want to go. We're going to be looking at going from Mission to Mardi Gras as we head downtown to see what God is doing through the lives of those in costumes and those who are serving this community. Rick Murray came to New Orleans because of Mardi Gras. That's what drew him here, so he could get some work. Millions of people come into Mardi Gras from all over the world, and they come to catch beads, they come to get active and be part of the festive experience, the music, the colors, the costumes, The floats, the parade routes are amazing, incredible creativity and imagination, and oh, the dancing and the bands, the marching bands, high school bands from all over the country come. What a place. They all converge right here in New Orleans, and there are a lot of parade routes, but one of the parade routes is St. Charles Avenue, and you will see families who will line up their ladders, put their kids up on the ladders. Days beforehand, they'll put the ladders up. You know, New Orleans is known for people stealing things, but they never steal the ladders. They always will remain. Because why? Because that's a part of culture, and that is a no-no. It's almost sacred. It's out there in the streets. And we're going to be talking to people on what Mardi Gras means to them.
This is what, you know, when you graduate from college, you get a diploma. When you graduate from clown college, you get a nose just made for you and a pair of shoes. Woo! That's what those are, Wayne Scott shoes.
Those are awesome.
Clown graduate, man. Awesome. That's the deal.
Tell us about Mardi Gras for you. What's it like?
What's Mardi Gras like for me? It's my money season. This is when I do all my gigs. Like I have one today, I have two, I have Hermes, I have all these different crews. I do all the crews, Zulu, everybody. I work for everybody. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is my busy season.
Right, who are you? What's your name?
I'm Dwayno the Clown. That's me.
All right.
Not Drano, Dwayno. You got that? All right, good. All right, where are you from?
We're from Meridian, Mississippi.
Mississippi? I can spell Mississippi with one eye. It's very hard, but I can do it. You want to see it? Look, M-I-S-S-I-S-S-I-P-P-I. One eye, bam! I did it, man. I told you I could do it.
OMG.
So much fun.
Oh my God. Beyond
so
expectations.
Everybody's a connection.
Has Mardi Gras started yet?
They're on the beads.
I know.
People are happy. Everybody's happy. You know, I mean, it's
a good day.
Pretty great day.
It's such a feel-good day. Yeah.
What's up, brother?
Can we get an interview with him? Tell us about it. Tell us about Mardi Gras for you.
Crew of the Royal Elvi. We're in Carrollton this year. We're in Muses also. We represent Elvis, 13 years running. He's the man, and this is how we roll for him, baby.
I love it. So that's at 11 o'clock?
12 o'clock, Carrollton.
12 o'clock, Carrollton.
Yep.
Got it.
After 13.
All right, thank you. You know, Mardi Gras brings people from all over the world, and what's fun is you don't just look at the parade yourself, you celebrate it with those on your left and with those on your right, and you get to know each other, and you find out what brought you here, and how did you hear about Mardi Gras, and what do you love about Mardi Gras? And it's about relationships, and that to me is really the journey of life. It's not meant to be enjoyed solo, it's always meant to be in community.
This is my first parade, and I'm off from work, so.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Where do you
work? I'm a server on Bourbon.
Are you?
Yeah. It's Bayou Burger and Sports Company. That's the official name.
Got it.
Yeah. That's it.
Here we go. What's your name?
Ariel.
Ariel.
Yep.
A-R-I-E-L.
I'm from Chicago.
From Chicago.
Yep.
Right.
Thanks.
I'm Paul.
And that's Paul.
I'm from Michigan.
Michigan. All right. Great.
This isn't his first rodeo.
No. I've been through many rodeos.
Many rodeos. So what do you like about the parades?
I usually avoid the parades. I like that it's her first parade and she has that enthusiasm.
What I've experienced has been great. We've got plenty of restaurants. It's very diverse. Got a lot to do. Pretty much anything you could want to do contained within a 1 mile radius of this area, so it's nice. I've lived down in New Orleans for 4 years now, living here in the Uptown neighborhood. Resident at Tulane, doing my residency in orthopedic surgery. and been in this neighborhood for about 4 years now.
You've been having a fun past few weekends as well?
Yes, it's been a little bit of on-call work and a little bit of parade going and a little bit of coming to this place and eating here at Surrey, so we've enjoyed it. From a Christian standpoint, it's always got to be exciting. The churches are fun, lively, the music's fantastic, and from what I've seen, the ministries and outreach are unbelievable. There's a lot of people to reach out to down here, and what you can do in this city is complement what you can do to other parts of the world as far as your ministry and outreach. So we've enjoyed it. It's diverse, it's fun, and there's a lot of good believers down here that have similar mindsets.
Fun for all, as long as it is like good spirited. It's all good spirited, right?
Definitely.
Happy people.
We felt like we made so
Everything.
many people happy today.
I've never been so popular in my life.
Yeah.
Just saying. Yeah. Really, it's about celebrating life and indulging and having fun and then
Cutting loose.
and cutting loose. Mardi Gras is just an opportunity to experience New Orleans. If you want to come see New Orleans, do not come at Mardi Gras. If you want to experience Mardi Gras, come at Mardi Gras.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's
That's what I'm
completely
saying.
different.
Totally
But
It's
is
either
like
Mardi
so
Gras or
fun.
New Orleans.
Yeah,
Right.
it's the difference.
Yeah.
But really and truly, it's about seeing the locals experience and love and understand.
It's a celebration of life. And in the midst of other gods of Mardi Gras and how they're each remembered and reflected, what you see underneath that is this great parade and how a community comes together to celebrate and to dance and to laugh and to invite. Mardi Gras is all about inviting others into the experience. The hotels love it when we invite people, right? So they're full to the max because it's a happening. And that to me is the parade of life, and that's what it's all about.
We are in the 501st, which is a worldwide Star Wars organization, and it's the premier costuming group for Star Wars. And so this is a worldwide thing, but of course, being in Mardi Gras, we do these parades every year. Going to Mardi Gras every year, just being in these parades, for us, we have a couple of young kids, so we don't normally come uptown or downtown. We usually stay in the suburbs and Metairie, things like that, where the parades are more family friendly. But for us to be able to march in these parades, there's a couple that we do every year. So we tend to not be your typical Mardi Gras goers, and we may be against the grain a little bit, but it's fun to come out and see the parades, but we tend to stay towards the family-oriented areas. This area is predominantly a Catholic area, and so the faith that's built in this area would be Catholicism mainly. My wife and I are actually Southern Baptist, and so we actually have leadership roles in our church. I'm a worship leader. She's a financial secretary in our church. But as far as how that impacts this area, there's a lot of need for faith-based organizations in this area. So it's a big city, and it's a lot of diversity.
Weather's beautiful, the beer is cold, and we're just so grateful to the people of New Orleans for inviting us down to enjoy this party.
What's your favorite experience here so far?
My favorite experience, other than this bus that isn't moving, would probably be the parade where Iris is my favorite. A lot of great beats at Iris. All women, lots of beautiful women. So cheers to Iris. Happy Mardi Gras.
You know, when I think about the comparison of Mardi Gras and the bread mission, it's all about the street. Mardi Gras happens on the street. It doesn't happen inside a building. It's along the way. It's along the journey. And the parade goers are paving the way for the Mardi Gras floats, and there you can just see the pathway. It's lined with people on each side, and in the middle is the neutral ground, and there at the neutral ground are all the ladders of the children. And that to me is a similarity between the bread mission and Mardi Gras. It's out there with people on both sides of life, those on the poor side and those on the wealthy side. And the bread mission is for both. We all eat bread. We all need it. It's a staple of life. And Jesus is right there in the middle of it all. Stick around, we'll be right back.
What's in a letter? If you're Mitchell Signs and Imprints, one letter means everything, and it's in the name. Mississippi Meridian. Mitchell Signs, Imprints. Two companies that help you reach your clients, whether it's big or small. And just like the name says, Mitchell Signs and Imprints are local. Meridian people, Mississippi pride. From quality signs to the perfect promotional product, see why Mitchell Signs and Imprints have been earning Mississippi's trust for more than 100 years. Check them out on Facebook for special deals and more information.
Jesus says, I am the bread of life. What does that mean today? Well, I think it means taking the bread that we get at the communion table and then sharing it with those who are outside of the church. And that's what Rick Murray and I are doing here at NOLA Mission down in New Orleans, Louisiana on St. Charles Avenue. This church offers ministry for the homeless as well as for the needy, and we've got sandwiches here. We do every week for the homeless down in New Orleans, especially under the bridges, those at the Ozanam Inn over there at Camp Street, and on the streetcar routes. And I think that's where people experience Jesus Christ. A lot of people will never come into a sanctuary, but if we can bring Jesus Christ out to them, that's what the church is all about. So I want to ask you about your church. What's your church doing out in the community? How are you serving the homeless, the needy, and those who might be less fortunate than you? Jesus says, I am the bread of life. This is Tom Sykes for a Hush and the Rush moment in New Orleans, Louisiana. Welcome back to The Road in Between. We've hoped you've enjoyed our show today about the church and culture. We believe that the church is not meant to be cemented in and to be stuck. It's meant to be a church on wheels, and that's what the old Blue has done. Rick, thanks for sharing your truck with us. You got your cool shades on. From Jazz Fest of culture all the way to sanctuary worship, communion bread is meant to be shared outside of the church. And that's what this bread ministry has been doing for many years. So if you've got a ministry in your community and you're looking for something to do, why don't you take some extra loaves of bread, go share them with those who are hungry. You might be involved going into dangerous places, but that's where God lives. You see, a lot of people don't go to church, but they're looking for Christ. They're looking for hope. They're looking for joy and peace. I believe that if we take the hope and joy and peace of Jesus Christ, who is the bread of life, out into the world, amazing things will happen. On behalf of Rick Murray and myself, thank you for being at NOLA Mission. Come down and see us sometime. We're on 6200 St. Charles Avenue underneath the beautiful oaks between Tulane, Audubon Park, and Loyola. We'll see you next time on The Road in Between. Road in Between is brought to you by John O'Neill Johnson Motor Company, Glass Incorporated, Construction Services, Archer Architecture, Bench Warmers Sports Grill, HH Production, Cooper Construction, Harvest Grill, Marcello Cranes, Mitchell Signs, Imprints, Modern Outfitters, Mississippi Beverage and Water, Nationwide Insurance, Woodstock Furniture.
Thoughts keep running through my head as I walk this road with nothing ahead. The sun beams down on my face as I walk this road that leads to amazing grace.